Have you ever tried talking to money? Not just counting it, not just budgeting, but really talking to it, as if it were sitting right in front of you. Money, yes, that green, shiny, powerful thing we all chase. What if I told you most people treat money like it's an enemy, like it's a stranger? They beg it, they chase it, they plead with it, yet they never understand it. Imagine walking into a room and seeing money sitting there. Would you frown at it? Would you ignore it? Or would you speak to it with respect, with intention, as if it were alive? Because here's the truth. Money does respond. Not in the way you think, not magically, but in the way your mind, your actions, and your energy align with it. I remember a friend of mine, a small shop owner. Every month he dreaded bills. He cursed expenses. But then one day he decided to talk to money differently. He said, I respect you. I honor you. I will use you wisely, but I will also let you flow freely. The next month, his sales didn't just rise, they shifted. Opportunities came. Clients returned. Doors opened. It wasn't magic. It was alignment. He treated money as a partner, not a problem. Ask yourself, how do you speak to money? Do you whisper words of fear, or do you speak words of respect? Do you hoard, or do you allow it to flow? Money wants a conversation, not arguments, not panic, just clear, honest, intentional dialogue. Treat it like a person. Ask it, what do you want from me? How can we work together? And here's the thing. When you start speaking to money like this, your entire relationship with it changes. You stop chasing it desperately. You start inviting it naturally. You stop fearing its absence. You begin respecting its presence. Because money isn't evil. Money isn't scarce. Money isn't something to fight. Money is a mirror. It reflects your mindset, your respect, your energy, your worth. So today, I challenge you, talk to your money. Not with greed, not with fear, not with complaints. Talk to it with purpose. Talk to it like a partner. Talk to it like a friend. And watch, just watch, how it responds when you finally start treating it the way it deserves. Here are some key points related to this. Treat money as a partner, not an enemy. Your mindset and energy directly influence your financial outcomes. Fear and desperation repel money. Respect and intention attract it. Talking to money is a metaphor for aligning actions and decisions with purpose. Money reflects your self-worth, mindset, and habits. Consistent, respectful dialogue with money leads opportunity and flow. Have you ever noticed how most people treat money like it's a threat? Like it's this thing lurking in the shadows, ready to disappear the moment you need it most? People hide it, hoard it, beg for it, fear it, and yet somehow they never really understand it. I want you to imagine a different way, a way where money isn't the enemy, but a companion walking beside you, a partner in the journey of life. I once knew a man named Amir. He worked tirelessly 10, sometimes 12 hours a day. Yet, no matter how much he earned, he always felt like it slipped through his fingers. Bills piled up, unexpected expenses appeared, and he found himself in a constant state of panic. He hated money for the stress it brought, and he believed money hated him back. Then one evening, as he sat alone at a small kitchen table, he did something unusual. He spoke to his finances, not like a ledger, not like a problem, but as if money were a living presence. He whispered, I want us to work together. I don't want to fight you. I want to understand you, respect you, and make you grow. That night, something shifted. It wasn't immediate. He didn't suddenly become rich. But over the following weeks, he noticed small changes. He stopped dreading every bill. Instead, he planned, with intention, each payment and investment. He no longer saw money as an adversary demanding his fear and stress. He began to listen, to notice which opportunities felt right, which choices aligned with his values, and which actions truly honored his effort. Slowly, Amir started treating money as a partner in life. He didn't just work for it. He collaborated with it, and it responded in kind. Think about it. If money were a person, would you rather scream at it or sit down and talk? Most people scream. Most people panic. They react with scarcity, anger, or guilt. But partners, real partners, communicate. They negotiate. They build trust. They show respect, and in return, they receive cooperation. Treating money like a partner means showing gratitude for what you have, planning responsibly, and trusting to flow back to you if you honor it. It means being conscious of how you spend, save, and invest, because every interaction is a conversation. There's a woman I met named Sarah. She was a freelancer, always stressed about bills, about clients who didn't pay on time, about rent and groceries. One day, she tried something different. She wrote a note to her money. I honor you, I will respect you, and use you wisely. I will not hoard you out of fear. I will let you move and grow. She posted it on her fridge. Every morning, she read it aloud. Within months, she noticed that projects she had been hoping for came to her effortlessly. Clients who had been late suddenly paid on time. She didn't understand how it happened, but she did understand that she had changed a relationship. She had stopped fighting and started partnering, and the results followed. Treating money as a partner doesn't mean ignoring reality or being careless. It doesn't mean wishing for miracles. It means creating a relationship built on respect, trust, and awareness. It's about seeing money not as something to hoard in fear, but as something to engage with consciously, like a friendship. It responds to your energy. When you bring negativity, panic, or resentment, it withdraws. When you bring clarity, gratitude, and intention, it flows. It becomes a collaborator rather than a challenge. Imagine how differently life would feel if every financial decision were a conversation instead of a battle. If every paycheck, every bill, every investment were met with dialogue instead of dread. That's the essence of treating money as a partner. Understanding its language, acknowledging its presence, and walking forward together rather than running in fear. Have you ever noticed how two people can face the exact same financial situation, yet one thrives while the other struggles? It's not luck. It's not timing. It's energy. It's mindset. Let me tell you a story. There was a young woman named Lena. She had just started her own small business, selling handmade candles. Every morning, she would wake up excited, envisioning her products lighting up people's homes, bringing warmth and joy. She spoke to her money with curiosity and respect, as if each dollar she earned was a message from the universe. She believed in abundance, not scarcity, and she carried that energy into every decision she made. When she sent invoices, she expected timely payments. When she invested in her materials, she saw it as planting seeds for growth. And slowly, she noticed something extraordinary. Opportunities began to appear almost magically. A supplier offered a discount. A boutique wanted to carry her candles. A customer referred 5 more clients. Contrast that with her friend, Omar. He had the same talent, the same candles, the same drive. But every morning, he woke up worried. Every evening, he went to bed stressed. His mind was constantly whispering, will I ever have enough? What if I fail? What if money leaves me again? When he sent invoices, he chased clients aggressively. When he bought supplies, he felt guilty and anxious. Despite working harder than anyone else, his business struggled. The difference wasn't effort, it was mindset. Lena's energy attracted abundance. Omar's energy repelled it. Think about that for a moment. Money is not just a number on a screen or a stack of bills. Money is energy. It responds to the vibration you send out into the world. When your mind is filled with fear, scarcity, or doubt, money senses it. It doesn't literally hear you, but your actions, decisions, and opportunities shift according to your internal state. When your mind radiates confidence, clarity, and belief in your worth, doors begin to open, connections appear, and resources flow toward you. I remember men telling me, money doesn't care how smart you are. Money doesn't care how hard you work. Money responds to the energy you carry. At first, I thought it was a cliche, but then I saw it in action. Friends who carried resentment toward wealth never seemed to find it, no matter how capable they were. Others who believed they deserved success and acted with intentionality saw money move toward them in ways that seemed almost effortless. Your mindset shapes how you see opportunity, how you handle challenges, and even how you attract people into your life. If you wake up expecting rejection, you'll notice every small no and magnify it. If you wake up expecting abundance, you'll notice every small yes and leverage it. It's not blind optimism. It's a conscious choice to align your thoughts and actions with the reality you want to create. Even small shifts can change everything. A simple affirmation, a moment of gratitude for every dollar that comes and goes, a pause before reacting to financial stress. These are not trivial habits. They are the invisible bridge between scarcity and flow. The mind doesn't just think. It creates pathways. It signals action. It calls opportunities closer. And when your energy is aligned with abundance, money doesn't feel like a struggle. It feels like a dance, a partnership, a reflection of the life you are ready to live. And the most beautiful part is this. Once you understand that your mindset shapes your financial outcomes, fear loses its grip. Scarcity no longer controls your choices. You realize that every dollar, every transaction, every decision is a mirror of your inner state. And that mirror can be polished, nurtured, and transformed to reflect exactly what you wish to see. Have you ever noticed how fear changes the way we move through the world? It tightens our chest, quickens our pulse, and clouds our decisions. Now imagine carrying that fear into every interaction with money. That's exactly what most people do without even realizing it. They panic when the bills arrive. They scramble when income slows. They cling to every coin as if letting it go means losing themselves. And in that panic, money slips away. It doesn't want to stay in a place where it's feared or despised. I remember meeting a man named Farid. Farid had a decent job, a steady paycheck, and a modest savings account. But he was always anxious about money. Every unexpected expense felt like a catastrophe. Every investment opportunity felt risky and unsafe. He would count his money repeatedly, check his account obsessively, and argue with his own spending. One day, a friend asked him, "Why do you treat money like it's an enemy?" Farid laughed nervously. "It feels like it's always slipping away," he said. "If I don't hold on tight, it will disappear." That night, I asked him to try something different. I said, "Treat money as a guest you respect, not a foe you fear. Speak to it with intention, with gratitude, with clarity. Invite it to flow rather than clamp down on it." He was skeptical, but tried it. He began small. Each morning, he would silently say, "I respect you, and I will use you wisely. I will not cling, but I will honor your presence." Within weeks, his perspective began to shift. He stopped panicking over every little expense. He noticed that opportunities he had ignored before, freelance work, small investments, even returning clients, began coming his way. Fear has a peculiar way of closing doors. When you act out of desperation, you make decisions that feel urgent but are often short-sighted. You overpay, you rush, you stress, and in doing so, you repel what you want most. I've seen it countless times. People chasing money like a runaway train, only to exhaust themselves and gain nothing. Money responds to intention, not hysteria. It responds to respect, not pleading. It responds to calm confidence, not frantic desperation. Let me tell you about Amara, a freelance designer. She had been struggling to get clients for months. Every pitch she sent was laced with anxiety. "Please, I hope they hire me. I really need this." And every pitch was rejected. Then she made a subtle but powerful shift. She decided to approach her work with dignity. She treated her proposals as valuable, her talent as worthy, and her financial requests as fair. She began saying, "I offer my skills, and I trust the right opportunities will come." Within a few weeks, she landed 3 new clients, each paying more than she had previously dared ask. The difference wasn't luck. It was the energy of respect and intention she brought to the interaction. When you treat money with respect, it feels welcome. When you approach it with intention, clarity, and purpose, it feels safe to enter your life. It's not about control. It's about partnership. Fear and desperation are magnets for scarcity. Respect and intention are magnets for abundance. And here's the subtle beauty. It's not about pretending you have more than you do. It's about aligning your energy with the truth that money flows where it is honored and where your actions reflect your worth. Every time you panic, money senses it. Every time you chase it in desperation, it drifts. But every time you honor it, plan with care, and act intentionally, it begins to respond. And as you begin to notice this, Your relationship with money transforms from a battleground to a partnership, a dance of trust and respect, where both you and money thrive together. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to have money flowing effortlessly toward them, while others struggle despite working just as hard? It's never just about skill or opportunity. Often, it's about alignment, aligning your actions, your choices, and your mindset with your true purpose. Talking to money in this sense is more than a metaphor. It is a mirror reflecting whether your life is in harmony with what truly matters to you. I want to tell you about Raza, a young man who had just started a small tech startup. At first, he approached money as most people do, with obsession, worry, and calculation. Every decision was about cutting costs or maximizing profit, and every interaction with potential investors felt like a battle. He spent sleepless nights stressing over spreadsheets and projections. He talked about money constantly, but always as a problem to be solved. Despite his hard work, the results were disappointing. Projects stalled, clients were hesitant, and the pressure built. Then, one evening, an old mentor said something that changed everything. He told Raza, money is only interested in purpose. If you want to flow, align your actions with why you exist, not just with what you need. Treat it like a conversation, not a confrontation. The words struck him. For the first time, Raza considered that his decisions were out of alignment with his purpose. He was chasing money, but he wasn't serving the vision he had for his startup, the reason he started in the first place. So he began to speak to money differently, not literally, but with intention and awareness. Before every expense, he asked, does this move me closer to my purpose? Before pitching to investors, he asked, does this align with the impact I want to create? Before hiring, before spending on tools, before taking on a project, he paused and considered whether the action resonated with his values and vision. Over time, these questions became a dialogue, a way of consulting with money itself, as if it were a partner whispering guidance back to him. Almost immediately, Raza noticed subtle shifts. Clients who shared his vision came to him willingly. Investors who understood his mission offered support without demanding compromises. Projects that felt like struggles suddenly unfolded with ease, almost as if the universe itself was responding to the clarity and intention he brought to his decisions. It wasn't magic, it was alignment. Money always flows toward purpose. It always moves toward people who know why they are acting and what they truly want to create. I once spoke with a woman named Fatima, an artist who had been living paycheck to paycheck. She loved her craft, but she constantly measured success by the money she earned. One day, she decided to shift her perspective. Instead of thinking, I need money to survive, she began to ask, how can my money help me create more beauty, touch more lives, and grow as a person? She began pricing her work fairly, investing in better materials, and marketing with authenticity. She didn't chase clients or plead for sales. She showed up fully aligned with her purpose. Within months, she was surprised by steady commissions, gallery invitations, and opportunities she had never imagined. It wasn't the money chasing her. It was her clarity and alignment that drew it in. Talking to money is a metaphor, yes, but a powerful one. It reminds us that financial decisions are not just transactions. They are reflections of our inner state. Every choice we make, every expense, every investment, every offer we accept or decline, signals to the world and to ourselves whether we are living with purpose. When you align your actions with your purpose, money is no longer something you must chase or fear. It becomes a tool, a partner, a reflection of the energy and intention you put into your life. And here's the most important insight. Alignment is not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about pausing before decisions, checking in with your values, and asking, does this choice reflect who I truly am and what I want to create? When you start treating money in this way, every interaction becomes meaningful. Every transaction becomes a step toward building the life you want, not just a number on a bank statement. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. You stop chasing and start inviting. You stop fearing and start co-creating. It's a simple yet profound truth. Money is not an end. It is a reflection of alignment. It mirrors your purpose, your clarity, and your intention. And when you begin to talk to it, not as a stranger, but as a partner in your journey, it begins to respond. Opportunities emerge. Doors open, and the path forward becomes clearer. The conversation is ongoing, intimate, and transformational, guiding every step you take toward a life lived with intention and meaning, where money flows naturally to support, not to stress, and where every action resonates with the purpose that drives you. Have you ever noticed that your relationship with money often mirrors your relationship with yourself? It's a strange and sometimes uncomfortable truth. The way you think, feel, and act toward money is a reflection of how you value yourself, your choices, and your potential. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this perfectly. There was a man named Bilal who had always struggled financially. He worked hard. He hustled long hours, but somehow nothing ever seemed to stick. Bills piled up, opportunities came and went, and he constantly felt like he was barely keeping his head above water. He blamed the economy, bad luck, or unfair circumstances. But no matter what he did, he couldn't seem to break the cycle. Then one day, he realized something crucial. He treated himself like he was enough, and the way he treated money reflected that. Bilal had a habit of undervaluing his work. He charged less than he deserved, settled for mediocre clients, and never invested in his own growth. He feared taking risks, so he stayed in comfort zones that produced very little. When he looked at his bank account, he felt shame. When he received money, he felt guilt. His habits, his mindset, and his self-perception were all mirrored in his finances. Money wasn't the problem. It was a reflection of his own energy. He decided to make a change, starting not with his finances, but with himself. He began by asking, "Do I respect myself enough to value what I offer?" He started setting boundaries, charging what he deserved, and investing in skills that made him more capable and confident. He worked on self-talk, replacing thoughts of scarcity with affirmations like, "I am worthy of abundance. I attract opportunities that match my value." Slowly, he noticed a shift. His bank account started reflecting his new mindset. Clients who had ignored him before now sought him out. He began saving, investing, and even giving without fear or guilt. The reflection was clear. As he valued himself more, money valued him more. I remember talking to a woman named Nadia, a talented graphic designer. For years, she undervalued her work because she didn't fully recognize her own worth. She took on jobs that paid too little, tolerated clients who treated her poorly, and avoided investing in her professional development. Her finances were chaotic, unpredictable, and stressful. Then one day, she decided to change her habits. She created a pricing structure that reflected her talent, said no to clients who didn't respect her, and invested in courses to sharpen her skills. She didn't just see a change in income. She noticed a transformation in confidence, clarity, and self-respect. Money, in a sense, had mirrored the worth she finally claimed for herself. The truth is, money has no agenda. It doesn't judge, it doesn't punish, and it doesn't reward randomly. It reflects what already exists within you. Your mindset shapes your decisions, your habits shape your opportunities, and your self-worth shapes the value you bring into the world. Every financial struggle is often a reflection of self-doubt, limiting beliefs, or misaligned habits. Every financial success is often a reflection of confidence, clarity, and consistent action. Think about it like a mirror. You walk past a mirror and see yourself every day. If you frown at yourself, if you ignore yourself, if you neglect your reflection, it seems unkind. But if you stand tall, look with respect, and care for yourself, the mirror reflects it back. Money works the same way. When you respect yourself, when your mindset is clear, when your habits are intentional, money responds. It doesn't appear magically, but it begins to flow in ways that match the value you place on yourself. It's not about being perfect or having a flawless system. It's about alignment, paying attention to your mindset, observing your habits, and treating yourself with respect are all acts that reverberate through your financial life. When you start honoring yourself, money stops being a source of stress and starts being a reflection of your growth, your worth, and your potential. The bank account, the invoices, the investments, they all echo the energy you bring into your life. And when that energy is rooted in self-respect, clarity, and intention, money naturally follows. And the most profound part of this is that it teaches a simple yet life-changing truth. To change your financial life, start by changing the way you see yourself. When your self-worth rises, when your mindset aligns with your purpose, and when your habits reflect your intentions, money stops being a struggle and begins to mirror the abundance, confidence, and clarity you embody. Imagine for a moment that money is like a friend you want to keep close, a friend you want to understand, and a friend you want to nurture. Most people treat money like a stranger. They call it only when they need it, they complain when it doesn't behave, and they ignore it when it's quiet. But what if money could sense respect? What if, like a true companion, it responded to your energy, your intention, and your consistency? I once met a man named Hassan. Hassan had been struggling for years with his small business. He chased every client, worked day and night, and constantly worried about where the next payment would come from. One day he confided, "I feel like money hates me. No matter how hard I try, it never stays." I asked him to try something different. I told him, treat money like a partner. Speak to it consistently, respect it, and invite it into your life intentionally. At first, he was confused. "Speak to it," he asked. "You mean like literally?" I laughed and said, "Not just words. Think of it as aligning your actions, your habits, and your energy in a consistent dialogue with opportunity and abundance." Hassan started small. Every day, he reviewed his finances with gratitude. He planned his expenses thoughtfully, and he visualized his money flowing toward the goals he valued most. He stopped chasing, panicking, or reacting out of fear. Instead, he spoke to money through intention, action, and awareness. Slowly, doors began to open. A client returned unexpectedly. A supplier offered a discount. A friend referred someone who needed his services. Hassan began noticing a pattern. Money responded when he treated it like a valued participant in his life, not as an enemy or a fleeting resource. This is the power of consistent dialogue. Money doesn't appear or stay simply because you wish it. It responds to alignment, respect, and deliberate action. Think of it as tending a garden. You don't just plant seeds and walk away. You water them, nurture them, and care for them regularly. You acknowledge their growth, adjust for sunlight, remove weeds. Over time, the garden flourishes. Money works the same way. Regular attention, consistent respect, and intentional engagement create an environment where opportunities naturally grow. I remember a woman named Sanaa, a freelance writer. She had sporadic income and felt stressed every month, waiting for checks that never came on time. I suggested she start a money journal, where each day she tracked her income, her spending, and most importantly, her intention for each financial decision. She began to write notes like, "I honor the money I receive. I invest it wisely. I allow it to flow toward growth." Within months, she noticed that opportunities she hadn't even considered before started arriving. Invitations for collaborations, unexpected bonuses, clients paying promptly. Her financial life began to flow with ease. The consistent, respectful dialogue she maintained created momentum, and money seemed to respond in kind. The lesson here is profound. When you engage with money intentionally and consistently, you no longer react to scarcity. You create flow. You stop scrambling for the next opportunity and start inviting opportunities that align with your purpose and your energy. Consistency builds trust, not between you and money, but between you and the life you're creating. It signals that you are ready, that you are responsible, and that you are conscious of how resources move in your world. Every transaction, every investment, every financial decision becomes part of an ongoing conversation. When treated with respect and consistency, money becomes less of a stressor and more of a partner, guiding you toward opportunities, collaboration, and growth. It no longer feels like a struggle. It becomes a natural part of the flow of your life, responding to the energy you bring, the actions you take, and the intentions you hold. And the remarkable truth is this. When you treat money with consistency, care, and respect, doors begin to open that you didn't even know existed. It's as if the universe itself responds to your alignment, providing resources, guidance, opportunity in ways that feel effortless, natural, and even magical, because you've learned the language of dialogue, intention, and flow to so today. I challenge you. Look at your money differently. Speak to it, respect it, understand it. Treat it like a partner, not an enemy. Treat it like a companion, not a stranger. Treat it like a reflection of your worth, your mindset, your purpose. Because the truth is this. Money responds to intention. Money responds to energy. Money responds to respect. Money responds to action. And If you start now, if you start today, you can change everything. You can transform fear into flow, scarcity into opportunity, struggle into abundance. Do not wait for a windfall. Do not wait for luck. Do not wait for someone to hand it to you. Start now. Speak to your money. Honor it. Align with it. Invite it. Every small step, every deliberate choice, every word you speak to it shapes the reality you will live tomorrow. Remember, money is not just numbers. Money is not just bills or coins. Money is a mirror of your energy, a mirror of your habits, a mirror of your self-worth. And when you look into that mirror with respect, with intention, with clarity, the reflection staring back at you is a life you always dreamed of. So today, I ask you again, look your money in the eye. Speak to it. Respect it. Align with it. Invite it. Treat it as a partner, a guide, a reflection of everything you are capable of becoming. And never forget this. The moment you begin talking to money like it matters, the moment you begin honoring it like it deserves, the moment you begin seeing it as a partner rather than a problem, that is the moment your life will begin to change forever. Because money is not your enemy. Money is not your problem. Money is your reflection. Money is your mirror. Your support means everything. If this resonated with you, please share and subscribe. And the moment you start speaking to it, the moment you start listening to it, the moment you start partnering with it, that is the moment your abundance begins. And it begins today. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.